Just returned to the dining table, Yihan immediately asked with concern, his eyes fixed on Chen Yuan. Chen Yuan, are you alright? You were just assassinated and nearly killed, but you still have the mood to order food. Chen Yuan replied nonchalantly. I just stood waiting for about a minute, but it was still silent over there. It seems the sniper really ran away. It's a pity he didn't fire another shot, which prevented me from following the trail. But besides that, I also thought that if I chased after him, you and Qin Wushuang might be in danger, so I had to stay. Qin Wushuang couldn't help but bang the table in anger. Who on earth is so bold? This is the imperial capital, and they dare to use a heavy sniper rifle. This is truly contempt for the law, so arrogant. Not only arrogant, but they must also be terrorists, showing no respect for the law at all. The hotel manager, hearing this, quickly spoke up to reassure everyone. Calm down, everyone. The police are on their way. There's no need to panic. Qin Wushuang turned to try to comfort Bella. Meow meow, are you okay? Don't worry, the police will be here soon. Bella replied, Thank you, I'm fine. Chen Yuan furrowed his brow, taking slow but heavy steps, his cold gaze fixed firmly on Bella as he asked directly, Miss Bella, you are Waisha Man Kui, aren't you? The sniper earlier was arranged by you, wasn't it? If you shot someone, just admit it. Why continue acting? Let's see all the cards. There's no need to hide anything anymore. Upon hearing this, Bella appeared flustered and stammered in reply. Mr. Chen, I don't understand what you mean. Chen Yuan narrowed his eyes, unable to contain his frustration. Still acting. Keep it up then. The spot where I was sitting playing the piano just now was exactly the place that could easily be shot from the high rise across the street. I have reason to suspect that you deliberately arranged for me to sit there to make me a target for the sniper. If I hadn't been lucky enough to bow to everyone at the right moment, my head would have exploded like a watermelon by now. After hearing this, Qin Wushuang was left speechless. International superstar who is an assassin? What a joke. Yihan frowned, agreeing with Chen Yuan. Although the idea of a world-class star becoming an assassin sounds implausible, Bella's actions just now are indeed suspicious. Bella, on the other hand, was clearly terrified, trembling like a frightened cat. Looking at her, it would really be too much to say she was an assassin. Immediately, Bella's manager angrily rebutted. On what basis do you suspect Bella is an assassin? Bella is an international superstar. What reason would she have to be an assassin? Do you think she is so sure on money that she has to resort to being an assassin? What you're saying is more amusing than comedian. I think you should see a psychiatrist. You might have some issues. As he spoke, Bella's manager signaled to the bodyguards around them. The tall, muscular bodyguards immediately surrounded Chen Yuan. Although he was 1.85 meters tall, he looked as small as a bunny next to these towering figures. The atmosphere began to tense up as if a major battle were about to happen. Bella then changed her tone, her voice sweet but filled with concern. Mr. Chen, I think you've misunderstood me. I truly don't understand why you think I am an assassin. I have no idea if someone wants to assassinate you, and I sincerely apologize for putting you in danger. This is my fault. I'm truly sorry. As she spoke, she bowed 90 degrees, her expression earnest, her tone full of regret, even slightly aggrieved, and her legs trembled slightly as if scared. An ordinary person might not notice, but Chen Yuan keenly detected something unusual. Bella was clearly terrified yet trying to appear calm. If Bella were Wai Shaman Kui, the 5th-ranked global assassin, with such a weak mentality, then I really need to reconsider. How could she have completed several difficult missions and killed 36 targets while being so shaken? Yet Chen Yuan's thoughts continued to conflict. If Bella is not an assassin, then why are there so many coincidences? Coincidentally meeting at Yanjing University, coincidentally asking me for directions, coincidentally dropping her mask just as the wind blew, coincidentally holding my hand at the performance, and coincidentally appearing right here. And then while I was playing the piano, a bullet flew straight at my head. So many coincidences. Who could believe this? Thinking this way, Chen Yuan continued to ponder and came up with a hypothesis. Unless she has a twin sister and is using her beauty and status to approach her targets, waiting for her twin to appear and carry out the assassination when the target is unguarded. So when she was performing in Sydney, thousands of kilometers away, Kingpin in Tokyo was assassinated without anyone suspecting her as she had perfect alibi. Chen Yuan kept reasoning. Even though I don't have any concrete evidence, one thing is certain. Bella Hathaway and Wai Man Kui are related. Either this girl is truly collaborating with a real assassin, or this knave girl is just a pawn being manipulated. While Chen Yuan was still reasoning like a detective, Yihan gently reminded him, Don't get too agitated, the police are on their way. Chen Yuan raised an eyebrow and replied calmly, Has anyone done anything yet? I'm very clear-headed. Then right after that, he turned to Bella with a gentle smile. Miss Bella, I'm really sorry. I was a bit overly suspicious just now. Being assassinated multiple times has made me a bit anxious. I hope you can understand. Bella nodded slightly, her tone softer. Mr. Chen, I understand why you may suspect me. During a day at Yanjing University, I did ask you for directions. Chen Yuan responded frankly yet inquisitively. Of course, I'm not the kind of person with such poor memory that I would forget right away. Bella continued, her eyes full of sincerity. I understand you might think I approached you intentionally, but everything was truly just a coincidence. God must enjoy arranging coincidences like that. Actually, I even thought you were a paparazzi or an obsessive fan following me. But then my assistant told me you are Lim Yum Wum, a celebrity all over Huaxia with assets in the billions of dollars. At that moment, I started to have a different view of you, truly. There are a lot of coincidences today, but I have no ill intentions. If I didn't have malice, how can I reveal myself so much that people would suspect me? After hearing this, Chen Yun began to see some logic in it. If Bella really is the top assassin in the world, why would she behave so foolishly? An assassin who keeps encountering coincidences is like asking others to take a look at their back. If she spaced out her appearances a bit, just a few days apart, it would raise far fewer suspicions. Indeed, from this perspective, Bella seems quite innocent. Then, with a slight smile on his lips, Chen Yuan nodded and politely replied, Miss Bella, you are very candid. I believe you are not deceiving me. Soon the police arrived at the scene. With a luxurious place like this restaurant involving an international superstar like Bella, the super rich Lim Yum Wong like Shen Yuan, and the two noble ladies from the powerful Qin and Yi families, of course, the police could not afford to be negligent. Despite the importance placed on it, the results were disappointing. The police searched everywhere in the building opposite, but they found nothing significant tonight and, of course, did not locate the sniper. Adding to the time it took for the police to secure the area and check the scene, more than half an hour had passed. By this time, the sniper had probably gone home to sleep under the blanket, no longer waiting to be caught. Furthermore, given Shen Yuan's extremely important identity, the leadership suggested, after an evening of searching, we discovered a heavy sniper rifle, but the person has long since vanished. Additionally, we will assign personnel to protect you for 24 hours. Chen Yuan enthusiastically cooperated. Thank you very much. We feel safe with you here. Could you tell me how many people have been assigned to provide protection? The police calmly raised two fingers in response, 2 people. Bella Hathaway is also considered a victim in this case. After our preliminary examination, she was not suspected and was fully protected by 12 special operatives. Chen Yuan heard this and almost spat blood. I am a billionaire about to make it onto the Forbes list, and the police only send 2 plainclothes officers for protection. Meanwhile, Bella has 12 special agents protecting her. What the hell? And I saw how less important than a celebrity. It seems she is being taken care of more meticulously than national leaders. However, Chen Yuan managed to force out a reluctant smile, seemingly very unwilling. Is it truly the case that when it comes to matters of life and death, there are only 2 guards? However, the police refused to comment. Shortly after, Chen Yuan, Bella Hathaway, Yi Han, Qin Wushuang, and even the hotel manager and staff were called in one by one to the police station to give statements. Bella's meticulous protection also had its advantages. Being protected was like being surveilled. After all, she is an international superstar, so the police monitor her 24/7. Who would dare to attempt an assassination or any dark scheme in her presence? They would be lucky if they could do anything before finding themselves at the police station. It wasn't until 6 a.m. that Chen Yuan, along with Yi Han and Qin Wushuang, finally crawled back to the hotel to rest after their excursion at the police station. Early in the morning, just as Chen Yuan returned to the hotel and had not yet had a chance to rest, the phone rang. Looking at the screen, it was Yu Ling Xuan calling. Chen Yuan yawned as he answered the call. Ling Xuan, do you have any leads yet? Yu Ling Xuan revealed, her voice tense. Boss, the identities of Chang Jun and Huang Chao have been clarified. Chen Yuan immediately woke up upon hearing this. Really? Yu Ling Xuan continued to report. Both of them are well-known billionaires. Chang Jun was a shareholder of the Jufsing Group, while Huang Chao was the vice president of the Manhua Trade Association. However, both of them are already dead. Chang Jun died in a car accident 5 years ago, and Huang Chao died suddenly in his villa 3 years ago. What is suspicious is that both of them were involved in business dealings with Lai Wangchun, the father of Lai Jiamu, who is currently the president of the Manhua Trade Association and the head of the Lai Shi Group. Chen Yuan frowned and asked, Lai Wangchun? That's right, boss. Chen Yuan nodded. Okay, I understand. Right after that, Chen Yuan understood the problem and couldn't help but feel annoyed. This old man is the kind of person who brings trouble wherever he goes. This is the information Ling Xuang found. It's not much, and there's no clear evidence to accuse Lai Wangchun of being behind this. But I'm not a policeman. I don't need evidence. Intuition is enough to know that this old man definitely has issues. According to classified records from the darknet, Chang Jun and Huang Xiao were both victims of stage accidents. And how coincidental it is that after Lai Jia Nu lost his career, I ended up on the bounty list of international assassins. Ha ha ha. Lai Wangshun undoubtedly must be on my blacklist. Could it be that this old man is behind the assassination bounty on me? This old man has money. A few $1 billion is just pocket change for him. As for Jiang Shen Yu, no matter how wealthy he is, he probably couldn't splurge billions to put a bounty on my head. Thinking it over, Chen Yuan suddenly saw things more clearly. The only person capable and wealthy enough to do this, apart from Lai Wangchun, is who? This old man is truly digging his own grave. In the past, I didn't pay much attention to the Lai Shi group, viewing everything as just a business game. But this old man dares to put a bounty on my head? I play fair, but this old man has broken the rules, so they'll blame me for going all out. Thinking of the task at hand, Chen Yuan immediately assigned the mission. Ling Shuang, listen carefully. No matter the cost, crush the entire Lai Shi Corporation. I want their stocks to plummet without any breaks. Yu Ling Shuang, on the other end, nearly fell back, her voice filled with concern. Boss, if we do this, we could lose a lot ourselves. Chen Yuan scoffed. That's fine, I'll transfer another $500 billion to you. The goal is for the Lai family to go bankrupt. Upon hearing this, Yu Ling Shuang immediately dropped her phone in shock. Her mind started spinning like a top from Doraemon. Transfer another $500 billion? This is really money spent like water. Prior to this, Chen Yuan had already spent a fortune on various projects from film and pharmaceuticals to large media corporations like Gaoquan Yin, and even invested in Big Cat TV and Lai Yuya. The amount he had spent so far had exceeded $6 trillion. And this doesn't even include the contributions Chen Yuan had made to charity, building hospitals, schools, and many other miscellaneous expenses. In total, I calculated, has surpassed $10 trillion. But now Chen Yuan was saying he could transfer another $500 billion right away to crush the Lai family. The boss truly doesn't hold back when he plays. When he plays to the last drop. Ling Shuang was filled with curiosity, but also knew it was best not to ask further. Some things are better left unknown. Afterwards, while Yu Ling Shuang was still struggling to think of a way to implement the plan, she turned back to look at her phone screen and was startled. A transfer message appeared with an overwhelming string of numbers. Your account ending in 5678 has just received $500 billion. Please check again. Staring for a while, unable to believe her eyes, apart from fear, all she could do was feel even more afraid. $500 billion, oh my god! Dan, it was transferred in less than a minute. The boss really means business. At first, she thought to compare Chen Yuan with Lai Jia-mu, but now it was clear that she had been thinking foolishly. Lai Jia-mu! There was no comparison at all. Compared to Chen Yuan, Lai Jia-mu wasn't worth even a fraction. Not to mention Lai Jia-mu, even his father, Lai Wangchun, could not hold a candle to my boss. Had I known the boss was this formidable, I wouldn't have needed to be so careful at every turn preparing so much. With this kind of money, if the boss wanted to buy the entire film city, it wouldn't be a big deal at all. The more Yu Ling Shuang thought, the more confident she felt, and she regained her professional demeanor. Boss, I have one more thing I want to report. Yu Ling Shuang continued to report. Boss, regarding your private satellite, I've found a supplier. The cost for one satellite is about $2 billion, including various types of satellites, insurance, and operational fees. After hearing this, Chen Yuan did not seem surprised or take long to think. He casually replied, is it only $2 billion? Then just buy 10 of them for me. Make it quick. Yu Ling Shuang was momentarily stunned for a few seconds, then nodded in compliance. Yes, boss. Adding 10 more satellites is no big deal with the $500 billion you just spent. Buying satellites with you is like buying a bunch of vegetables at the market. My boss only complains about things being too cheap. He has never found anything expensive. After hanging up the phone, Chen Yuan opened his high-end laptop and started working. Recently, he had been continuously glued to the screen, typing code. The fact is, Chen Yuan was nurturing a programming project to replace the darknet, a dark website that he decided to take over and completely hack. It sounds serious, but for Chen Yuan, this hacking thing is as normal as eating rice. It's simply about writing a few lines of code, jumping into the system, and creating a new website to welcome all the assassins from the darknet to sightsee on his server. Anyway, this task is not easy at all. Even with his extraordinary brain, Chen Yuan has to admit that he can't handle all this workload by himself. So he thought of creating an artificial intelligence algorithm to help him deal with all these difficult tasks, saying it is easy, but doing it is hard because the current artificial intelligence system is only 3 years old as smart as a toddler just learning to walk. To manage an entire darknet, at least his artificial intelligence needs to be at a level of 10 years old, meaning it should have some understanding, be able to do homework, and have the capability to solve difficult problems on its own. Chen Yuan chuckled to himself, imagining his artificial intelligence being both intelligent and skilled. Those darknet hackers would surely be at a loss. At this moment, he is even planning to create 10 satellites to help enhance the capabilities of the artificial intelligence system. Chen Yuan imagined that when he had enough 10 satellites in hand, his system would be stronger by 100 million times, to the point where it could operate autonomously without the need for any engineering team to manage it. So there would be no worries about security because the entire darknet would fit snugly in his pocket. And if there were challenging techniques yet to be solved, it wouldn't matter, as Chen Yuan could always level up his hacking skills himself. He was confident in his abilities, and hacking the darknet was for him just like having breakfast, nothing more, nothing less. Chen Yuan was busy crunching numbers, unaware that from head to toe, all of his actions had been in the sights of a terrifying figure. He was observing Chen Yuan while confidently asserting, "The fact that Chen Yuan avoided the shot is beyond my expectations. I don't know if he's lucky or has some trick up his sleeve that I haven't discovered, but it doesn't matter. He won't escape this time. In Hoaxia, there's a saying, we will act when the enemy is least attentive." He thought he was safe with elite forces protecting him, but this was when he was at his weakest. Today would be the day of his demise. But there was one thing no one expected. Wai Shaman Kui, a person who the world still thought was a cold, stunning hot girl with a killer artistic style, was actually a chubby and ugly man. The entire international assassin community had been deceived, just like the story of a famous robber named Zhang with a pockmarked face. Everyone thought his face was full of pits, but in reality, his skin was even smoother than a baby's. But don't celebrate too soon. This is just the warm-up. As soon as Plan F failed, Plan B was immediately activated. That is this specially prepared poison in the bottles of purified water. Each bottle was sealed carefully with no signs of tampering, ensuring that everyone believes this water is completely safe. Surely one wouldn't stay up all night without taking a sip of water. Who would think that an unopened bottle of clear water could contain poison? Chen Yuan was still busy with his computer, typing continuously for 2 hours. Finally, he stopped, seeming a bit thirsty. He grabbed the bottle of purified water next to him, twisted off the cap without a second thought. The cap was still pristine, and twisting it off produced the unmistakable sound of plastic being broken, ensuring absolute safety. Chen Yuan confidently took a sip, unaware that he had fallen into a trap. But right after he drank, Chen Yuan felt that something was wrong. A burning sensation raced down his throat and into his stomach. Unfortunately, by the time he realized it, it was already too late. This specially prepared poison is no joke. Even an elephant couldn't survive it, let alone a human. Even if an ambulance flies in, it would be useless. In less than a few minutes, Chen Yuan began to writhe, continuously coughing up blood. His body rolled on the floor as if being burned from the inside. In another room, the chubby man wore a sneer full of contempt. He lazily observed through the control screen, clearly seeing Chen Yuan enjoying the bottle of poison with satisfaction. No rescue will be in time. After drinking this specially prepared poison number 008, even if he were a Superman, he could only end up dead. So the plan was complete. I don't need a sniper rifle or a dagger. I just need a bottle of water to end Chen Yuan's life. Chen Yuan felt the pain from his stomach rising and immediately shouted in his head, "No, I will not die. System, enhance my physique by 50 points right now." The enhancement was completed and the personal information appeared immediately. Name, Chen Yuan, age 22. Height, 1.85 meters. Weight, 77 kilograms. Strength, 135. Physique, 185. Spirit, 135. Agility, 135. Compared to an average person, which has a baseline of 10. Current status, slight stomach pain. Just a little. Even though I've just drunk a toxin that could kill an elephant.